Yo, what is up guys? Jamie from Jamie's Detailing. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a crash course in motorcycle detailing. Now if you guys have never detailed a motorcycle before, then today is going to be a great video for you guys because not only am I going to show you guys the products and chemicals that I use in order to detail a motorcycle, but I'm also going to be going over my actual process to get the job done. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Now, when it comes to the products that we're using to actually clean and detail a motorcycle, they're actually the exact same products that we use to clean and detail a car. However, there's a couple things that we want to be aware of. So, starting off with our very first product, is an APC, specifically an APC, not an APCD or an all-purpose cleaner degreaser. We specifically want an all-purpose cleaner without a degreasing agent. Now, why do we want to skip out on that degreasing agent? The biggest reason is because a lot of motorcycles have a lot of polished pieces on them, whether it's the exhaust or the wheels or whatever. They have a lot of polished steel, polished aluminum, bare metals on them, and there's stuff that if we're hitting them with an all-purpose cleaner degreaser, then we're for sure going to need to polish them when we're finished. That degreasing agent is really going to dull the finish on any of your polished pieces on the motorcycle. So I specifically like to stay away from all-purpose cleaner and degreasers, stuff like Purple Power, Super Clean, even Muscle Magic from Superior Products. All of these products will dull the surface when it comes to the shiny metal pieces on a motorcycle. So with that being said, my APC of choice when I'm cleaning motorcycles is Pink Perfection. Now, Pink Perfection from Superior Products, this is an amazing all-purpose cleaner, highly dilutable, very cost-effective, and it's one of my absolute favorite APCs out on the market, specifically because this APC has an added surfactant in it, and that is it has soap added to it. Now, since this has soap added to it, that means this is a little bit more, has a little bit more lubricity to it than your typical APC. And I love that because, yeah, when we're using it to clean a motorcycle, I don't have to worry about scratching anything with my microfiber towels, especially if we're using this on the paint, which is exactly what we use Pink Perfection for. I typically use Pink Perfection on motorcycles to really clean up wheels. A lot of times the wheels on your motorcycle are going to be pretty heavily dirty. They're one of those pieces on a bike that typically gets a little neglected, especially those rear wheels, specifically on bag bikes and stuff like that. A lot of times those rear wheels and even the front wheel will just not be kept up with as much as they should be, and Pink Perfection does an awesome job at actually cleaning the surface of those wheels and any other metal pieces and any of the painted pieces. But you can pretty much clean an entire bike with Pink Perfection, and I kind of use it as more of a pre-soak. So I use it as a pre-soak on my wheels to help knock down all the dirt, grit, the grime and stuff that kind of gets on your wheels. This does an amazing job at it, and yeah, it really just leaves you with that nice clean surface that's ready for polishing. The second biggest reason that I love Pink Perfection as my APC is because it is an amazing bug cleaner. Now, motorcycles get absolutely covered in bugs, especially those that are ridden pretty hard and often. So this bike in particular had quite a lot of bugs on it, and the Pink Perfection does an amazing job at breaking down all the old dried up bug guts and stuff like that that kind of get splattered all over the windscreen, all over the whole front of the bike pretty much. And this really does an awesome job at breaking down the bug guts and making it so you can easily wipe those off. Another huge reason that I like Pink Perfection, guys, is the fact that it's safe for me as a detailer. Pink Perfection really doesn't bother your hands, it doesn't irritate you in any ways, and it's an all-around safer chemical than a lot of other APCDs out there on the market. So I would highly suggest Pink Perfection for for your APC of choice when it comes to motorcycle detailing. Moving on from our APC, guys, the next chemical that I want to talk to you guys about is a rinseless wash solution. Now, the reason that I go rinseless wash over a traditional wash method like a 2-bucket method or foaming down the bike or something like that is because a lot of bikes have open air filters or air filters that are like K&N filters or cold air intakes, and they are permeable to moisture, meaning that if you guys are spraying the bike with a power washer and actually power washing the bike, doing that whole process, you guys run the risk of actually getting water in the air filter. Now, to avoid getting water in the air filter, I like going the rinseless wash method with a simple pump sprayer. This way I can really spray the actual rinseless solution where I want it, and I'm not getting it on parts of the bike that I don't want rinseless wash solution or wouldn't want foam and soap and all that stuff on. My rinseless wash of choice, and this is not just for motorcycles, it's really just in general, is McKee's N914. For me, guys, this is my OG rinseless wash. This is one of the very first rinseless washes that I ever tried, and I really, really like it. It is super versatile as far as, you know, just having it on your shelf as one of your chemicals, but it's super versatile. You can clean the inside of cars with it. You guys can obviously clean the outside, do exteriors and everything with it, but this is an awesome chemical, has a ton of off-label use cases, but for motorcycles, I just mix it up as a traditional rinseless wash, spray down my motorcycle, or spray down your motorcycle with it, and yeah, you pretty much just wash like your typical vehicle, like you would a typical vehicle, except on a motorcycle, you're gonna have to get a lot more detailed. On a car, you can kind of wash a car really, really quick because it's a lot of flat panels. On a motorcycle, you have to get in there, get the engine detailed, you have to get, you know, underneath the gas tank, you got to get all sorts of weird spots compared to a car, so it is a lot more time consuming to actually clean a motorcycle, but you can also charge a lot more to clean a motorcycle. So McKee's N914, this is my rinseless wash of choice, and yeah, I love using it because it has no protection and stuff like that in it, meaning I can just add my own protection when I'm done. Which, speaking of protection, or speaking of some kind of sealant, let's talk about sealants for motorcycles. Now, when it comes to a sealant for a motorcycle, guys, I typically just keep it really simple and use what I already have, which is Technician's Choice 582. Now, this thing's getting pretty sun bleached, but Tech 582, guys, this is one of my favorite detail sprays, and it's an amazing you know, added protection that you guys can add on to your vehicle or to a motorcycle at the end of a detail. And I really like it because of the way that it finishes the vehicle. It is a ceramic product, so it does play friendly with ceramic coatings and all that kind of stuff, but overall, guys, I really just like the slickness that this stuff provides. It's super easy to use. It flashes off really easily. And yeah, it's just one of those super easy, simple products to use. And it leaves a good amount of protection on the motorcycle. You probably get around 4 weeks easily of protection out of that product. And that's without touching the motorcycle again. But this is an awesome product where you can actually use this, since it's a detail spray. You can actually use it to go back and clean your motorcycle. Let's say a couple days after your detail, a week after your detail, whenever, you guys can actually just spray that on your vehicle and use it like a typical detail spray and actually clean the vehicle with it, or clean all your painted surfaces. You can go over your wheels with it, whatever you guys wanted to do. This is a super versatile product, and that's the reason I love it. I not only use this on motorcycles, but this is typically what I use to finish most cars as well. At least that's my short-term protection of choice these days. That's the one I stock up on. That's the one I'm typically using on cars, on my own vehicle, on pretty much everything. So Tech 582 is a gem in my mind, and that's probably one of my absolute favorite detail sprays on the market. The next thing that I want to talk about is leather care. Now, most motorcycles are going to have a leather seat. Unless you're working on like a crotch rocket, something like that has more of a vinyl seat. But this product not only works awesome on leather, but it's also going to work good on all your vinyl surfaces on the vehicle, and that is Superior Products Leather Lotion. Now, if you guys don't have leather lotion by Superior Products, you could use their other product, which is Aqua Gloss. Works amazing on leather, but this does work even better on leather. It does a little bit better job at the conditioning aspect of it, and it does an amazing job, just as good of a job as Aqua Gloss with the UV protection. So this is an awesome product to use on all the leather surfaces on your bike. If they got leather bags, anything like that on the vehicle, it's great to clean those up with some Pink Perfection that I kind of showed you guys earlier. I use Pink Perfection at 10-to-1 to actually do all my cleaning, and then I dress it with this, which just lays down an awesome protection, and it gives you some UV protection from the sun and all that kind of stuff to help resist some cracking. Superior Products Leather Lotion, I highly suggest that you guys pick this up for not only cars and stuff like that you guys are working on, but also for your motorcycles that you're working on. And you guys can also use Superior Products Leather Lotion for your vinyl seats and all of that kind of stuff. It still does an amazing job. However, if you guys are dressing mostly vinyl seats and stuff like that, you might want to stick with Aqua Gloss. Moving on from a leather conditioner, the next thing that I want to show you guys is some kind of polish for all of the metal surfaces on a bike. Now, when it comes to polishing bikes and on these more basic details, I'm typically just doing a quick and simple hand polish. We're not getting in there really trying to do a huge cut and buff on this or anything like that. We're really just trying to polish the metal and lay down some protection, especially if this is a bike that's about to be stored for the winter months. The polish that I typically use, guys, is super simple, and it is called White Diamond. Now, you guys can get this on Amazon. You guys can get this over at AutoZone. I think they even have it at Walmart, but this is a super easy to get metal polish, and I was actually introduced to this stuff by a truck driver, and this is one of those products that does an amazing job. It's super low cost, super cost effective. One bottle of this stuff will last you a very, very long time. You pretty much just shake it up really, really, really good. Everything kind of gets separated in here, but then you pretty much just put a little bit of this on a rag, dab it over the metal surfaces, let it sit for 30 seconds or a minute or so, come back once it starts to dry, and then you just polish it off with just do a quick hand polish with a microfiber towel, and you guys will be amazed at the results that you guys get with this stuff. Just trying to clean up all your metal surfaces, your chrome, your stainless steel, your polished aluminum, all of that kind of stuff. This stuff works awesome on, and yeah, I've been using this for like 2 years now, and it's an awesome polish. If you guys just need a simple, easy to use, highly versatile metal polish, yeah, this is the one that I would recommend for you guys. And a quick bonus product for you guys is DIY Details Gold Standard Polish. Now, if you guys are doing any kind of paint correcting or any kind of polishing on a motorcycle, I find that DIY Details Gold Standard Polish is an awesome one to use, specifically because you guys can get this on plastic, you guys can get it on, you can get, you can accidentally get it on parts of the bike and you can just wipe it right off. It doesn't cause any kind of white marks or anything like that on your plastic pieces, or anything like that. So I really like gold standard polish for motorcycles, and really just for all my kind of general purpose polishing needs when I'm just doing a quick polish on the paint. This is an awesome product to use, specifically because it is friendly on plastics. It's friendly on any other surface that you may accidentally get it on. But I love this polish specifically because of that reason, and it's obviously a really, really good polish. Does an amazing job at cutting as well as finishing, and I actually use this on this specific detail to get rid of a pretty deep scratch. So I'm going to take you guys through that just super, super quick at the end of this video, but DIY Detail is an awesome polish if you guys are just looking for a quick polish to do some light paint corrections, even heavy paint corrections you can do with this just by changing pads. But I typically use it just for those quick light polishes where you really just want to add some gloss, a little bit of depth to the paint, and this does an amazing job at it. So DIY Details is awesome, and you can use it for stuff like deep scratch removal, which I'm going to show you at the end of this video. So we just went over all the products that you guys need in order to clean a motorcycle, so let's super quickly give you guys a rundown on how I actually go about cleaning motorcycles. Now, starting off, guys, I always start my motorcycles with the wheels. The wheels are typically the worst part on any motorcycle, is typically the wheels, and sometimes it's the undercarriage right behind where everything's kind of getting tossed up from the wheels, right? So those are really the biggest parts of a motorcycle that we really are going to have to spend some time on, are the front and rear wheel and the underside of the motorcycle. For the most part, motorcycles are pretty well maintained. Everything else is pretty well maintained. So the rest of the vehicle is, we're pretty much just going over it with a rinseless wash solution, and it's nothing like super complicated. Starting with those wheels, I always hit them with Pink Perfection. Pink Perfection does an awesome job at getting rid of all the road grime, all the contaminants, all the brake dust, anything that is on those wheels. It's really going to get you back to that bare metal surface that we're looking to get to, so that at the end of this detail we can just throw a quick hand polish on these wheels and add some protection. Now, one big thing with motorcycles when you guys are cleaning the wheels is you guys are actually gonna need to move the bike forwards and backwards so that you can get to the different sections of the wheel. Specifically on this bike, this is a bagged bike, so not only did I take the bags off this bike, but I'm also needing to move the bike forwards and backwards because I can really only get to a small section on that rear wheel. So you're gonna need to feel comfortable moving a bike forwards and backwards in order to do these details properly. Otherwise, you guys are really only gonna be able to get to, like, let's say 50% of the wheel, and the other half of the wheel is going to be kind of hidden by all the components of the bike. Once you guys get the wheels actually clean to a point where you have most of the contaminants and everything off of it, this is when I actually will circle around the whole bike with my rinseless wash solution. So when I'm spraying my rinseless wash solution, guys, really the only parts of the bike that I'm really trying to stay away from are any of the electronics. Most electronics on the bike are going to be totally cool with getting water on them or getting some solution on them, because bikes are meant to be ridden in the rain and all that kind of stuff. But I still like to stay away from different components or, you know, screens, all that kind of stuff, and I'll just circle around and clean those at the end. It's just a good way to minimize risk when you guys are cleaning a bike. And the biggest thing that you guys are going to want to watch out for when you guys are cleaning a bike is the air filter. On this particular bike, it has a K&N style air filter on the side of it, so you could either throw a bag around that and then just polish it up later when you're done with the detail, or you guys can kind of do what I did and just look out for it when you guys are spraying a rinseless wash. So I just avoid that area when I'm spraying my rinseless wash. That way I don't need to worry about getting a bunch of water or getting a bunch of rinseless wash solution in the filter itself. Now, when you guys are doing your contact wash on your motorcycle, the biggest thing that you guys need to be aware of is on a motorcycle, it's all about cleaning the details. So for instance, this motorcycle has a Screamin' Eagle engine, which is an air-cooled engine, right? So we actually want to get in there and clean all the fins in that motor. We want to get in there, clean the lever for the lever for the shifter. There's all sorts of small little detailed areas on a motorcycle, and you guys really want to do a good job at getting in all those detailed areas. These are all the areas of the bike that the owner, or typically most people, are not getting to when they're just doing a quick wipe down of the motorcycle. So when they come to you guys for these details, they're really looking for you guys to get into all these small little tight areas that they are typically not getting into. That's what's going to make the biggest difference when you guys actually go and return the bike to them. So moving on from our actual rinseless wash process, guys, next we are actually going to take care of all the polished pieces on the motorcycle. So we're going to take care of the exhaust and any other polished pieces on the bike. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and apply some polish to all the different parts of this vehicle that need some polish. So we're gonna apply polish to the wheels, to the exhaust, to the different parts of the engine that are polished. We're gonna make sure that we get some polish applied to all those different parts, and then we're gonna let that polish sit there for a minute or so, a minute or two. Once we let that polish sit there for a minute, then we can actually go back and hand polish or hand buff out all of the chrome pieces, all of the stainless steel pieces on this bike. This is one of those things that's really gonna set off the detail, and this is one of those things that a lot of owners really don't do, is the polishing. So once you guys get done with all the polishing, now we can actually go back and clean the seat on this motorcycle. For the seat on this motorcycle, I just used Pink Perfection at 10-1, gave it a really good scrub using my leather brush. Once I got done with that, I applied my leather lotion, and I actually applied 2 layers or 2 coats of leather lotion on this motorcycle, which is normally when I'm doing a car, I only put 1 layer of leather lotion on it, but because this is a motorcycle, I always apply 2 coats of leather lotion. So I actually kind of let the leather lotion sit there and absorb into the leather, and then I'll come back one more time with my leather lotion and apply a second quick coat. And this is really just these motorcycles really don't get the seats conditioned as much as they need to. So really I'm just doing this so that the client hopefully will have longer results or longer lasting condition from this leather lotion. So yeah, I always condition the leather seats 2 times, and that's just really so I can get that leather seat popping on the bike. Now once we actually get done with the cleaning process on this motorcycle, now we can actually lay down our final protection on this bike, which is Technician's Choice Tech 582. This is an awesome sealant that you guys can use. It is labeled like a detail spray, but I find that this is an awesome short-term sealant that you guys can use on your car, on your motorcycle, any painted surfaces. But this is an awesome product. It lasts around 4 weeks, especially on a motorcycle that's typically garage kept. You guys are going to get an awesome short-term protection out of this. And this is an awesome product that my clients can actually just buy off the shelf or from Amazon, and then they can actually use it to clean all the painted portions on their bike. They can even go over all the polished portions of their bike with this product and keep it protected over a long period of time, and it'll take all the dust off, all that kind of stuff when it's in the garage. So Tech 582 is an awesome product to use, and it's an awesome product to recommend to your clients so that they can keep their bike maintained and protected. That is pretty much the full motorcycle detail. I know I went over it pretty short, but this detail did take me about 4 hours to do, and I did throw in one extra thing with this motorcycle detail, and that was some scratch removal. So really quickly, I'll go over the scratch removal process with you guys. Now, this had a small scratch on the tank. It was relatively deep, but at the same time, it was nothing for me to handle. So all I did for this particular scratch is I sanded it from 800 all the way up to 2000 grit. This way I could actually get into that clear coat and level the clear coat out. And then once we got done with that, guys, I just dabbed down a little bit of DIY Details Gold Standard Polish. And the Gold Standard Polish, guys, about 5 seconds of polishing that area with the Gold Standard Polish brings the finish right back to where it needs to be. We got a very nice gloss out of it, and the scratch is now 100% invisible, if not gone. Which on not all scratches you're going to be able to get out 100%, but this bike, these Harleys and stuff like that, they have very thick clear coats, meaning that they're extremely forgiving for when you guys need to remove some scratches and stuff like that. DIY Details is pretty much my go-to polish for doing quick little stuff like this when I just want to remove a quick scratch, or even if I wanted to quickly polish out an entire vehicle. DIY Details is a great polish to use. It is not too expensive, and it's sprayable. You can spray it right onto your pad, all that kind of stuff. So I love DIY Details Gold Standard Polish. It's a great polish to use, and yeah, I also love DIY Details, the brand itself. So that is pretty much the full detail on a motorcycle. We did all the cleaning, we did all the protection, and we even got rid of some scratches and stuff like that with the gold standard polish, which worked amazing. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what chemicals and what products are you guys using to clean a motorcycle, and what does your motorcycle detailing process actually look like? But that is pretty much all that I have for today's video, so I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.